Leah and Tara looked over their shoulders as the author rummaged around in the refrigerator. Looking at each other, the best friends smiled and picked up the iPad. Sitting shoulder to shoulder and staring at the iPad, the smiles on Leah and Tara's faces got bigger as they read, "Leah and Tara will return in Castle in the Pyrenees." And there you go, the last few lines from Castle in the Desert, Mission 3 of Leah and Tara's best friend's spy adventure. And the good news is it's relatively spoiler-free, although you did catch the title of what Mission 4 is going to be. Castle in the Pyrenees. Yep, this is my fourth spy story that I'm starting to work on right now. And after writing 3 of them, one of the interesting things that always happens, airplanes, restaurants, whatever, is when somebody finds out that I've written several spy stories or novels on Amazon, I always will say something along the lines of, I really wish that I could write a book too. Well, guess what? You can. I mean, if I can do this, you certainly can as well too. Now, I have certainly not cracked the Da Vinci Code when it comes to being successful on Amazon or in writing spy stories or anything. But each one of those covers represents a good 90,000 word novel. And so maybe some parts of my journey over the course of the next year are going to help you put together some parts of your journey. The first thing you need to do is decide, hey, yes, I want to do this. Okay, that's easy. I definitely want to write mission number 4, so that takes care of it. Step 2 in all of this is figuring out, okay, what do you want to write? Are you a Instagram influencer and you want to write a book about your travels or something like that? Or you could decide that you want to write really good thrillers or horror stories, or you figure you've cracked the Da Vinci Code in the world of business and you want to do a How I Did My Excellent Startup. All of those stories are things that people have put on Amazon and the other booksellers, and some people are being pretty successful with it too. So step 2 is figuring out what is it that you want to do. Sidebar here on this one. One of the things is I've ended up writing spy stories, but Leah and Tara originally weren't going to be super elite spies. They were actually just some best friends that were out checking out a haunted castle. So it was originally going to be a ghost story. Then as time went by, about 3 or 4 weeks into writing the ghost story, some things happened that I'll talk about down the road that turned it into a spy story. So in the first few weeks or months of your writing, be a little bit flexible. You might be making a change in genre. Now, after you've got 3 90,000 word novels, chances are you probably ought to not be making super big changes in there, because by that time, all you're going to do is annoy your readers, and that's the one thing you really do not want to ever do, is annoy your readers. Okay, we got those first few steps out of the way. What's the next step in the process? Well, the next step in the process is to start to assemble your tools. And obviously, if we're talking about writing, and we're talking about writing in this day and age, we're talking about a word processor. We'll get into the word processing next time, because there's a couple of other tools that I really want to suggest that you do. I happen to be writing in the Apple world right now, so I've got a Mac that I'm writing on, but I've also got a phone, which you're looking at right there, and also an iPad. And one of the things that I use an awful lot on the iPad is the Notes. The thing I like about this Notes app is it's something that works on all the different platforms. And by platforms, I mean it's on the iPhone, it's going to be on your iPad, but it's also going to be on your Mac as well too. So it works on all those 3 different devices. So if you're in the bathroom and you have an idea, no, we're not going in the bathroom, but if you've got an idea along those lines, you can jot it down. I know that's icky, but you're going to have ideas literally everywhere. So you always want to have something to take notes. Trust me, if you have a great idea, write it down, because if you don't, unless you have got a photographic memory and you never forget anything, it will go poof out into the universe and you'll never have it again. I've lost a lot of ideas that way. So, quick recap. First, you've got the desire to do this. Second, you know what it is that you want to write about. Third, you're starting to assemble some of the hardware, some of the equipment and tools you'll need to do this. And fourth, you've figured out how it is that you're going to not let any of your really great ideas escape. Next time, we're going to take a quick look at how it is that you start setting up the actual word processing document, so that you don't have an awful lot of reformatting to do at the end of the big process. And for me, the next steps that I'm taking are starting to research some parts of the world that I think that the spies want to go. And of course, the big part is I'm going to start getting down to the real work. And Leah and Tara can help you understand that. The author returned with 3 chilled cans of cider. After handing Leah and Tara the cans, he sat down on the step of the porch, took a drink from his can of cider, and smiled. A few moments later, Tara huffed and poked him in the ribs. "What are you doing leaning back and guzzling booze?" said Tara. "Shouldn't you be writing?" suggested Leah.